Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. I'm going to be doing the Capricorn energy reading. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not. I am using my Tarot Grand Lux. If you are interested in any of the cards that I'm using, the links are down below. Also, take what resonates, leave what does not, especially since this is a general reading. So it may be meant for someone else. What do we got going on here for Capricorn? What you may be struggling with is we have the 7 of Pentacles, we have the 9 of Cups, and we have the Magician, which I love the Magician. That's one of my favorite cards in the deck. The advice from the tarot is the 9 of Pentacles, the 5 of Swords, and the 6 of Wands. And then the energy that wants to come in for you. I love it. The King of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles and 8 of Cups. Overall energy, we have the 6 of Cups. Getting back to the lighter side of life, the fun side of life. Getting back to what's important, to make things less stressful, to just enjoy what you have, enjoy the moments. I feel that too many times people they get so caught up in the hamster wheel. And yeah, like we have responsibilities and we have bills and we have things that need to be done. But I also feel that it's important to take, even if it's just an hour a week or even an hour a month, right? Making some time for ourselves to kind of realize what's important in life. That time goes by so quickly. And especially with your kids, it's just like, enjoy each moment, because before you know it, things are changing. And I just feel like sometimes we're always wanting to get to the next thing, or we're always trying to speed everything up. So I feel like it's with this here, it's like getting back to what was fun, right? When you just used to swing on a swing, you know, and just had fun, or you played with your toys, or you just had like a game day, or you just kind of did those type of things. And I feel like that's what brings you happiness, and that's what gives you self-empowerment. So what you may be struggling with is the 7 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups and the Magician. And I feel like it's taking that time out for yourself with that 7 of Pentacles and kind of really looking at what's important. Like, I feel like you're not putting enough emphasis on that. And especially with it being next to this, looking at what is your 9 of Cups, right? What is your 9 of Cups, and what makes you happy and what brings you that fulfillment? Taking a break, making an assessment, and then taking the power to make it happen. But I feel like that's not what you're doing. I feel like you're kind of like you're not really focusing on what's important to you. And maybe it's time to rethink about what is important to you, right? Sometimes we think that it's money, and definitely money is important. But sometimes it's like working all the time is taking away from kind of those lighter moments and those moments that you can't get back, and enjoying all of your hard work. Definitely, how many times have we heard those stories of the people who worked so hard their whole entire life and they saved every single penny, and then they had, you know, a rough life, but then they had all this money, and then when they passed away, they left it to their, you know, family members, and they just went out and had fun with it. And it was like that person should have went and had fun with it. You know, yes, it's good to put away for a rainy day, but also it's good to be able to enjoy the hard work that you've done. And I just feel like it's like you can't, I just feel like you're struggling with reassessing like what's important to you, where you should be spending your time. The advice from the tarot is the rewards. It's, even though like the rewards from focusing on what makes you happy and gives you a peacefulness inside of yourself, you can't even put a price on it. And it's not worrying about what other people are going to say, like, and to focus on what's important to you with the Six of Wands right here. And I feel like sometimes we worry too much. People, they don't, what if they say I'm not working enough? Or what if they say I'm not putting enough? What does it matter what they say? It doesn't matter what they say. And I feel like it can be so much more rewarding when you focus on things that are important to you with the Six of Wands, when you focus on things that bring you happiness and enjoyment. Like I said earlier, it doesn't mean you have to do it every second of the day or that you have to give up on important things that need to be done, but it's like blocking out that time to say, let me just have some time to focus on something that brings me enjoyment and happiness. And I always talk about that in my readings, is about focus on what are those things that you enjoyed to do as a kid that maybe you've gotten away from, or that you enjoyed to do when you were younger, but you're not doing it anymore because life gets in the way. Yes, life gets in the way, and sometimes we can't always do it. But when we feel that life has gotten to a point where it's a regularity and it's like, okay, now I have time to focus on things that are important to me and that I enjoy, or getting back into that hobby or that group or that club, or doing that thing that brings me happiness. And I just feel like that's what brings your Nine of Cups. That's what Nine of Cups is to me. To me, I don't feel that the Nine of Cups, it can be like, yes, you get a luxury car or a luxury house or a luxury this or that. But to me, the Nine of Cups, I feel that that's emotional fulfillment within yourself, and you feel this sense of peace and calmness within yourself, and you feel happy to wake up each day, and you feel happy about what it is that you're going to do that day and who you're going to spend your time with, or you're enjoying each day, and you're not in this I feel like that's priceless to me, and that's a sense of empowerment within yourself with that Magician. That's what I feel. And I feel like with these three cards, it's like time to take a break and really focus on what's important to you, because when you focus on what's important to you and brings you emotional fulfillment, you feel more powerful about life, and you feel that life is more magical, and you feel a sense of fulfillment, and that you're getting more out of life, that you're not just on the hamster wheel. And then the energy that wants to come in for you is, I feel, very grounding energy here with this King of Pentacles. And then we have the Three of Pentacles, and then we have the Eight of Cups. So what is it that you need to, it's like you're going from the Eight of Cups to the Nine of Cups, right? It's like you're letting things go, but you're bringing things in. It's time to work on what those things that you have to work on, right? That you have to let go of. And say, well, maybe I can cut some time back here, or cut some time back here, or maybe I can, let that go. Or if you're focusing on something, negative energy, sometimes, a lot of times, that we focus on negative things. And learning to let those go sooner gives us a sense of calmness within ourselves. Right? That if you're always holding on to what somebody said, or what somebody did, or how they irritated you, or how they made you angry, in a sense, you feel that it's a sense of empowerment to yourself, because you're like, I'm going to hold on to that, what they said to me, because I'm just going to keep that little nugget in my brain, so that if they irritate me again, or they make me angry, I can throw that back in their face, or I can use that, right? But it's like holding on to that is really only hurting yourself, and it's only draining yourself. And it's letting go of those things and saying, I don't want to focus on, every memory that person irritated me, or somebody made me angry. I want to focus on what makes me happy. What's my Nine of Cups? What's my Nine of Pentacles? What brings me happiness? I want to focus on happy things. I want to focus on, okay, when's the next time I'm going to go to the beach, or the next time I'm going to go, I'm going to go for a bike ride or a walk, or whatever it is that you enjoy doing. When's the next time I get to do that, right? That's more exciting than holding on. Oh, I remember that time that person said this or did that, right? And it's just about realizing what we're focusing on, and what are we putting time and energy on, and that, is it draining us, or is it You know, is it enlightening us, or is it empowering us, right? So kind of looking at those things. And I feel like it's that self-empowerment within yourself, and you have the control and you have the power to what it is you're focusing on and what you're not focusing on. Sometimes we don't realize how powerful we actually are, and that we have to change what it is we're focusing on. Let's grab a animal oracle. Peacock spirit. All right, I love this one because I feel like it's that shining within yourself. It's let it shine, right? Time for you to shine. Time for you to focus, to spread your wings, your feathers, and to be that peacock and be proud of yourself, and, you know, to use your time wisely. And I just feel like it's time for you to shine, right? It's time for you to step up. It's time for you to focus on that Nine of Cups and feel powerful here with that Magician, and focus on what's important to you, what brings you happiness. Let's grab a Star Dragons. We have bliss, cherishing the day. I feel like that's the same energy that I was talking about, is cherishing each day instead of dreading each day. What are the things that you can do? What is that? Even if it's just journaling, right? It's just writing positive things down. Even if it's just take a little piece of each day, whether it's 5 minutes. Like I was watching Gem Goddess, and she was saying, you know, what are those things that you're thankful for, and showing gratitude. And, you know, it's, even if you just take a minute and you say, what am I thankful for, right? That puts you in a frame of mind where you feel grateful for what you have around you. That puts you in a frame of mind of feeling more positive, and, you know, bringing more things in your life so that you can add that to your grateful list. And yesterday when during midday, I just took some time and I listed off some things that I was grateful for. And it felt good to do that. It really helps your mindset. Sometimes we have to look at what is our mindset and say, okay, do I have to change that? Do I have to switch that? And, you know, what can I do to help that? And I also feel that, you know, when we're looking for tarot messages, we're looking for those messages, and we're trying to help with our mindset. We're trying to change our mindset because we're struggling with something, and we're like, how do I change this? And I feel like the first change is our mindset and how we see things and how we perceive things, and change that to cherishing each day, right? Because when you're not in a good place and when you're struggling, each day becomes a burden, and it's like, oh, I don't want to deal with, you know, I barely want to deal with today, never mind with tomorrow or next week. And I feel like it's shining, right? Let it shine, and being that peacock spirit and just enjoying each day. What can you find each day that you can be thankful for? And that helps us to start to cherish each day and be in that state of bliss, which also I feel can represent the Nine of Cups as a state of bliss and happiness. Let's grab a Whispers of Healing. We have respect. I always feel that is respecting yourself enough to know that if you are struggling with something, that you will make the effort to change things, right? That if you're struggling with a situation, that if you feel, you know, if you feel that there's a part that's lacking, right? Fun lacking. What can you do to help yourself with that? What can you do to change the situation? Taking that break and saying, what's going to bring me happiness, and empower myself to make those changes in my life. Sometimes we have to say no to other things in order to say yes to things that are important to us, that are actually more rewarding to us. We have Angel Answers a year from now. So definitely, if this is your mindset and you start making these changes now, a year from now, things could be very different, right? You could have a complete different outlook with this a year from now. And, you know, working on this with that and letting go, right? Letting go of what you're holding on to with that Eight of Cups, right? Letting go of the negativity. And I mean, that's definitely what I did, is I let go of those things that I was holding on to that made me feel sad. And unfortunately, that was, kind of my comfort zone. And that's what my subconscious would focus on, was the negativity. And when people said things that bothered me or hurt me or things that went wrong. And unfortunately, that's what I would focus on instead of all of the things that I had in my plus column. Let's grab a wisdom of the oracle. We have mending and we have all that glitters. Sometimes we think what other people have are better than what we have. And when we're always focusing on what other people have, we're missing what we have. And I feel like it's mending yourself and focusing on the things that you have in your plus column and what you're grateful for. And to not let what other people have or don't have, you know, what's going on with them, not to let that affect you. And to be thankful for what we have and what we have in our plus column. And what we have that makes us happy. And I feel like that's what, you know, like taking that mask off and seeing things for what it really is and what truly brings you happiness and fulfillment within yourself, right? And that helps to mend yourself. If you really enjoy, you know, let's just say you enjoy walking your dog every day and you've gotten away from that, or you enjoy going to the gym, it just brings you a sense of satisfaction within yourself in many different ways. And maybe it's time to mend yourself, and it's time to say, you know what, I want to get back to doing that, because that really helped me to feel good within myself. That really helped me to feel, maybe you like to volunteer, right? I volunteered at animal shelters before. I volunteered at different places, and it feels good to volunteer. And if that's something that brings you a sense of, you know, of peacefulness within yourself, then that's what you need to focus on. And that's what you need to help to mend yourself, right? It's not what, for some reason, I just feel like is that all that, for some reason with that, all that glitters, I feel like it's you're focusing on what other people have or what other people are doing or what other people are thinking, especially with this 5 of Swords. And it's like, it doesn't matter what other people are doing. It's focusing on what you have going on with you. Let's grab an energy oracle. That's their life and that's what's going on. That's their journey. You have to focus on your journey and mend yourself, right? It's time for you to start focusing on yourself and to mend yourself. We have door to personal healing and happiness. That's perfect, because that's exactly what I was saying with the mending, is that it's mending yourself. To the door to personal healing and happiness. Personal for you, which is unique to each one of you, right? To let it shine, right? And cherishing the day. Cherishing the day to one person can mean something totally different to somebody else, right? And it's open that door, right? With that card, it's open that door to that personal healing and happiness, but only you can open that door. And that's what you have to realize, is only you can open that door, because you know what's going to make you happy. You have to look within yourself and saying, what is going to fulfill yourself? What is going to make yourself happy? And be honest with that. Don't feel like, well, I think I should answer this, or I think I should say that. No. Say what it is that you feel inside. What is going to make you happy? And it may be something totally different a year from now. Right now, doing one thing may make you happy. And a year from now, it could be something completely different. But it's always making sure that you're looking at what brings you that personal happiness within yourself. And to not deny yourself that. Sometimes things change, right? And that's okay. Like for me, having a horse has definitely brought me a lot of personal healing and happiness, but things are changing in my life. So I'm going to be selling him, and because, you know, of many different reasons, but I have other focuses in my life right now. And you know, I've definitely enjoyed him, and it's time for me to focus on different things, and it's time for me to do other things. And now I feel that the expenses of it all is starting to become a burden, and it's starting to create a lot of stress for me. And, you know, it's time for me to move on for many different reasons. And You know, it could be something that, like I said, right now it may be something for you that you really enjoy and that you want to do, and in a year from now it could be something totally different, and that's okay, right? Because we're all changing throughout our lives. We all have different needs and we're all at different points. And to take the mask off and really see, what do you need to help to mend yourself and to bring you happiness right now in this moment? We have spiritual strength, so we have the 9 of Wands. So I feel like it's what gives you, again, that mending and that personal power and that personal strength within yourself. I feel that goes with the Magician, because I feel that it's when we do things that make us feel good and empower ourselves and make us feel happy, that gives us strength to get through all types of situations. And then we have the base chakra. And that's really about your foundation. And when you have those core beliefs, and when you're focusing, you know, you're not getting caught up in all that glitters, and you're shining and you're opening that door to personal healing. When the base is like, you know where you stand, you know what's important, you know what you need to focus on, you know what you need to do, right? And you're empowering yourself, and that's your base chakra. So that may be something that you need to work on, is your base chakra, is, you know, what do you really stand for? What is it that's important to you? What is it that you want to spend your time doing? Yes, there are things that we have to do, but we all have extra time. We all have time, you know, on nights or weekends, or we can all find that extra time where we can take a little bit of that time to focus on, you know, something that brings us personal satisfaction. We all have that time. You know, we can spend that being on social media and scrolling through that, or we can do that. We can spend that time doing something that is maybe more productive, that we really enjoy, like being outside and going for a hike, or going to the ocean, or spending, you know, walking our dog, or, you know, doing something that really brings us a deeper sense of fulfillment, you know, volunteering. So doing something, it's up to us to choose what it is we do with that time and how we spend that time. And that's something that, you know, sometimes we have to take a look at that and say, you know what, instead of watching TV for 6 hours every night, maybe I'll watch TV for 3 hours and I'll spend 3 hours doing something else, right? If you have all of that extra time. But just definitely something to think about. Sometimes we have to realize, you know, how much time really goes by on maybe doing things that are not as productive for ourselves. And then once we start doing that, then, you know, we can maybe add more things down in, and, you know, do more things that brings us that happiness and that fulfillment, right? With that base chakra. We have fortune reading card. We have Chariot. Charge ahead with confidence. Stay strong and focused. Definitely when we're trying a new routine, when we're trying a new focus, when we're, you know, focusing our energy on something different, definitely it's easier to fall back into old patterns and habits, because that's what we're used to. So I feel like with that card, it's moving forward, right, with the Chariot, but it's also stay strong when you feel challenged, when you feel tired, or you feel like, you know what, it was just so much easier if I just sat on the couch for 6 hours and scrolled through social media. You know, it was so much easier to be able to do that rather than, you know, go out and go for a walk. But it's remembering how good you feel after the walk. You know, it's just like, oh, you know, you feel so good. And then for me, when I start exercising, I start eating better, because then I'm like, oh, you know, I don't need all the junk food, even though I like it. But it's like, you know what, I really don't want to do that. It feels so good going for the walk. I want to eat healthier. And that starts to affect. And then I feel mentally better, and I feel more alert, and I feel more energized. So it's like, you know what, it's so beneficial in so many different ways. And sometimes once we start to make that a routine, then it just becomes part of our life. But as we're switching and we're going through those adjustments, it's definitely seems easier to fall back into old ways. So I feel like it's being aware of that. All right, we have our witch casket incantation here. So we're going to pull one of these. We have fertility. I shall be blessed with fertility, that new life may spring from me. So that's just kind of, they're like little sayings that they have. And I feel like this represents that feeling, that sense of newness. Just, I feel like that kind of embraces the whole reading, where I shall be blessed with fertility, that new life may spring from me. Spring, that new life, right? Where you're having this Nine of Cups energy, and you're having this Nine of Cups moment where you're feeling that life is more fulfilling. You have this personal healing and happiness, that you let it shine. And fertility doesn't necessarily have to mean that, you know, you're going to be pregnant. It's just like that feeling of fullness, and you're letting it shine, and you have this personal healing and happiness, and you feel that life is full, that you feel that it is you're cherishing the day, right? That you're cherishing the day, and that you're making the most of each day with this Nine of Cups and the Six. You're focusing on what's important to you. And it's just that sense of fullness that you have, the new life where you're focusing on things that bring you happiness and fulfillment, right? That you're making more out of each day, rather than just trying to get through each day. And like I've said many times before, it's all about perspective and how we see things, but it's up to us to make those changes. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.